What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. I shot this video earlier, but I'm going to shoot it again because my voice was really bad. When I listened to it, it just was, I could not edit the video. So I'm going to be playing this probably on Sunday. And what I want to do, I want to start doing a series of videos that talks about exploring other options, okay? And what I mean by that is we've been talking a lot about Social Security. We've been talking about Medicare. We've been talking about retirement and investing and all of that. And I just want to show you there are other opportunities that you have right now without doing any of those things. You could be receiving Social Security right now, $1,600 a month, and you could explore other options. Oh yeah, and before we get started with the video, I do have an announcement to make at the end of this video, so I'll make that announcement after we watch a video. But first off, on this channel, we talk about money and the financial struggles that Americans are facing today. If that sounds like something interesting to you, please subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell notification. That way you get notified anytime we put out a video. And like always, if you see my name and a picture of me in the comment section, make sure you see a check mark next to my name. That check mark signifies that it's me. If you do not see that check mark, it's not me. It's someone trying to impersonate me. Okay, so I am struggling with my voice. In yesterday's video, I talked a little bit about that. I had a cold, and I'm in Colombia right now, so I've been here for about 7 days, and I've spent the last 4 to 5 days just resting because I caught a little cold, and I probably caught it off the plane. I had a situation on the plane that I haven't had happen to me in a long time, but we had the opportunity not to wear masks on the plane. However, the lady that I was sitting next to coughed the whole trip, and so I wore my mask the whole trip. And then at the end of the trip, she leaned over to me and she said, "Don't worry, I got the COVID test and I tested negative, so I'm fine." And when she said that, I thought to myself, well, you might not have COVID, but you have something because you've been coughing the whole trip. So I don't know if I caught anything from her or what have you, but I'm just coming off the cold now. I've lost my voice and it's coming back. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot this video now because the last video I shot, I just I couldn't post it. It was just, it was painful to watch me try to talk through it. And so I'm going to show you guys a clip here. Now there's a series of clips that CNBC does, and I want to follow these clips because I think they're really, really great. And most of them are about people living abroad and how much it costs for them to live abroad and how they do it. And a lot of these people are retired. Okay, a lot of these people are retired. Some people retire early, like in this gentleman's case. He's young. He's still working as a digital nomad, but he is semi-retired in the country where he is. So let's go ahead and take a look and listen to what he has to say. And like always, I will pause as we watch just to talk a little bit about what's going on with his experience, because some of this stuff is just amazing to me. So let's go ahead and take a look. Here we go.
As soon as I saw this place, I fell in love. My life in Tbilisi is better because I'm able to live a higher quality of life for a fraction of the cost. So this allows me to travel more, spend less time working, because if I was living in the United States, I would have to be working a lot more, and now I'm basically semi-retired.
Okay, so let's look at this information here. So he's 33 years old. He left the U.S. He's living in Tbilisi. I've never heard of Tbilisi before. So that's in Georgia. He's making $275,000 a year. So he's making really good money, and he's doing it as a digital nomad. So he's working remotely. And this is becoming more and more popular. I know if you've already retired, you might not be interested in doing any type of digital nomad work, but look, you can look into it. Even if you're retired, you're receiving Social Security, there's still options where you can work. And there's still stuff that you can do as a digital nomad. And you have a lot of younger people now that are doing that. They're working remotely. I have a few friends right now that are in Colombia and they're working remotely. They don't go to a 9-to-5 job anymore because now they can work from home, and so they can live anywhere in the world. So I think that's pretty interesting. So let's go ahead and continue.
My name's Mike Swagunski. I'm a 33-year-old from Wildwood, Missouri, and I'm a nomadic entrepreneur that's based in Tbilisi, Georgia. This year, I'm estimated to make around $275,000. The biggest crossroads moment in my life was my senior year of university. About a month before my graduation, my mom tragically passed away from breast cancer. It showed me that you should follow what you want to do, and our time is limited on this planet. So I eventually decided to follow my dreams of traveling and book a one-way ticket to Europe. I do identify as a digital nomad, but I think more specifically, I identify as a nomadic entrepreneur. A nomadic entrepreneur is somebody who's able to build a business that's location independent, meaning they can live anywhere in the world and work from their laptop. I chose Tbilisi to be my home base. After coming here for 1 month, I essentially got trapped here with the pandemic. The borders had closed, and luckily I fell in love with this country, so decided to stay here long term. Currently, I have 6 different sources of income. A lot of those are coming from my book, coming from a software business that I acquired, and coming from services for the Global Career brand. These services are helping others with inspiring them to create a different journey or start their own global careers. So essentially, I'm helping other people become digital nomads. There's a lot of tax benefits to being a digital nomad. Essentially, if you're spending more than 330 days outside of the United States, you don't have to pay tax income up to $112,000.
Now, that's key for a lot of digital nomads or people who are living outside, expats. So you might not be in the situation where you're up at that range of 112,000, but you don't have to pay taxes on any of that. And so it depends on how much time you stay out of the U.S., but you have an opportunity, if you are out of the U.S. for a period of time, of not having to pay taxes. And so that's a benefit for being an expat. And then look at it. Look at the tax here. So Georgia has a 1% tax rate on individual small business owners. 1%. 1%. That is really good.
Running multiple businesses from Georgia is definitely a lot easier than if I was based in the US, and it mainly just comes down to the cost. If I were trying to replicate my same infrastructure in the United States, it would probably be around 10 times more expensive. Hey everyone, welcome to my home in the center of Tbilisi, Georgia. So I'm currently living in the Buena neighborhood, which is a central area of Tbilisi. It's a wonderful place because it's really close to some of the best coffee shops, restaurants, and other things that are happening in the city. If I was based in the US, I would most likely be living in one of the 10 big cities. These cities are substantially more expensive than a big city like Tbilisi. Currently living in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, and 2-story apartment that has a beautiful Italian garden. It costs only $600 a month and is around 2,500 square feet. It was a
All right, wait, hold on. 2,500 square feet, $600 a month. And you can imagine it's a 2-bedroom, but 2,500 square feet. In California, my house is not 2,500 square feet, and it's 3 bedrooms. This is a 2-bedroom house. So that's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing for $600 a month. He's able to stay in, and so he has a lot of space there.
A little difficult finding this apartment. I had to view hundreds of different listings, and I ended up actually viewing around 10 different apartments. But as soon as I saw this place, I fell in love. One of the things that's great about Georgia and Tbilisi is it's really easy to get around the city. I'm normally traveling by an Uber alternative called Bolt, but there is a really great public transportation system here. You can get pretty much anywhere in the city for just a few dollars.
And I don't know if you guys caught it, but $30, that's what he spends for the whole month when it comes to transportation. In the U.S., and I've told this story before, my last trip from Colombia, I flew into LAX, Los Angeles Airport, and to get home, it cost me $175 just to get home, and he's spending $30 just for the whole month.
Having a private chef actually saves me a lot of money. It's not super expensive. It costs around $250 for her to come 6 days a week and prepare my food. This in return saves me a lot of time and money and actually has me eating healthier.
So if you have a little extra money, $250 per month, and you have a private chef.
One of the great things about Georgia is whether you're eating out at a restaurant or cooking at home, food prices are extremely low. So on an average, I spend under $500 a month on all my food budget.
So $500 a month for food. I don't know how people could survive on $500 a month for food in the U.S. It'd be very, very hard. Just going to the grocery store for me, and it's just me, I'm spending at least $100 every time I go to the grocery store, and I'll go there at least 5 times a month. And that's not including any time where I go out and eat. So I can only imagine $500 a month, and he's including the personal chef with that. So $250 for the personal chef, and then $250 for miscellaneous things that he needs to buy. That's pretty good.
One of the things I love about being a nomadic entrepreneur is every day looks a little different. My typical structure is wake up in the morning, come down, have some coffee, enjoy reading a book, and then normally after that, I'll do a little bit of meditation and then head to my gym where I'll get a nice workout in. I usually work from my home because I find it to be the most productive place. But a few times a week, I like to head off to coffee shops or cafes, and sometimes even co-working places where I'll meet up with some of my friends. They have a saying here that a guest is a gift from God. And that really holds true because Georgians are very welcoming to foreigners. I think Americans visiting Tbilisi for the first time would be most shocked by the day-to-day life. Essentially, Georgians are a lot more relaxed. A lot of places don't even open till 10 a.m. And in short, Georgians are working to live and not living to work.
That's a real important thing. And you'll find that when you go to other countries. People, they don't work the way we work. Like, we're working all the time, constantly. Even in Colombia, when I come to Colombia, people work hard here, but they relax and they enjoy life. Whereas in the U.S., I don't get that. I don't get that feeling. It's one of those things, and I think we've all probably had this situation where you're working and you want to take vacation, you put in for vacation time and you're crossing your fingers and you're hoping that you can get that vacation time, and sometimes you get denied. Or if you take too much vacation, you have coworkers looking at you funny, like, "What? You're going on another vacation?" It's crazy. In other countries, that's not frowned upon. You're encouraged to leave. In Europe, it's very, very big. You're encouraged to take a vacation, take a holiday all the time. And so in the U.S., we feel kind of guilty for taking vacation. But in other countries, they look at it as, no, you need this time. You need this time to yourself.
Once a month or twice a month, I was hosting entrepreneurial meetups. So this way I could meet with like-minded people that were also going to be really interested in growing their businesses and kind of have the same perspective on life. I definitely don't think living abroad is for everyone. There's going to be a lot of different variables that you won't be able to replicate from your old life of living in the United States. One of the things I miss about living in the United States is, of course, I miss my friends and family. To help improve this, I'm getting on calls pretty much every 2 weeks with my brother and my dad.
Played some music today, so with the guitarist.
What were you playing?
My originals we were rehearsing.
Of course, there's downsides to living anywhere, and I would say in Georgia, some of the downsides that come to mind is it's still a developing country. So there's going to be things like your electricity or water shutting off a little bit more than other locations. Now, this isn't happening every day, but it does happen a couple times a year. I'm definitely happier living in Tbilisi than I would be living anywhere else in the world. Georgia checks every box I'm looking for. I can find everything here. So would I ever live in the United States? I don't want to speak in absolutes. I love America, but as of now, I just enjoy my life overseas a lot more than if I were going to live in the United States.
Okay, so there you go. This gentleman is living in another country, living in Georgia, and he loves it. Now, that doesn't mean he doesn't love the U.S., it's like he said, but he prefers to live abroad. He can do more there. He can start his own business. He has money for a lot of different things. He can stay in a 2,500 square foot house. So all I'm saying when it comes down to it, exploring other options, if you are in a situation where you're on a tight budget and you have the opportunity because you've retired or you're not working, explore these options. Like, he probably never planned on living in Tbilisi in Georgia, but he went there, he visited, he liked it, and he ended up staying there. So that's all I want to do when it comes to these videos. I do want to inspire people. Now, it's not for everyone, and he even said that. It's not for everyone. But some people can benefit from it, and there are a lot of expats that are out there right now that are on Social Security that are benefiting from this very same thing that he's doing. So now I want to make my announcement. My announcement is I am staying in Colombia for 3 months. So I'm temporarily living in Colombia or moving to Colombia. And the reason that I'm doing this is because in the future, this could be an option for me, okay? I'm keeping my options open. I have a house in California, but I love Colombia, and I love learning more about Colombia. So I want to spend more time so I can kind of do the things that normal people do. I don't want to be living like a tourist. And so that is my reason for doing this. So I'm going to be in Colombia for the foreseeable future. I have on my visa, I have about 90 days. So I'm going to use that all up. And then I have a little bit of extra time. So if I want to do that, I might do that in the future. So that's my big announcement. I'm now living in Colombia. Although it be temporary, I'm still living here and I'm doing all the same things. I'm renting apartments. I'm renting this apartment for a month. I'll be moving around. I'm not just going to stay in one place. But I'm going to take you guys along the way so you guys can see. Maybe this will spark some interest in you of wanting to come to Colombia. Now, when I talk about travel, I know it turns off some people because they think, oh, it's too expensive. I can't afford to do that. I've talked about this before. I'll talk about it more in the future. But I use points. I use travel credit card points in order to travel. Okay, so that's how I get around. It's very, very inexpensive to get on this trip. To take this trip here, it cost me $20 plus the points that I used. Okay, and the points you earn when you use your credit card to purchase everyday items. You go to the grocery store, any item that you purchase, you're going to earn points. And then once you get those points accumulated, then you can use those points for travel. So I'll talk a little bit more about that in the future too. But just know, out of pocket, the money out of pocket is $20. That's all that I paid for my flight up here. Now, my flight back, it's a little bit more. It's about $80. But that's around how much you're going to be paying in order to fly out here, because that's probably going to be your biggest expense if you're not counting your housing, depending on how long you're here. If you're staying in housing in Colombia, it's about $300 to $400 generally. If you're using an Airbnb, usually it's a little bit more expensive. Sometimes it's like twice that amount just because it's Airbnb. But then you have some extra added benefits of using Airbnb. So that's something different, that you're working with Airbnb as far as you don't have any kind of contract. You're not stuck here on a lease for 6 months or anything like that. So anyway, just wanted to put that out there to you guys. I'm going to be doing more videos like this in the future. I'm going to stick with the regular content, but I want to do a series of videos on exploring other options. Okay, that's all I have for you guys. If you have any questions, post them down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.